But how do you like ruin someone's life? How does Majority Report do 5 videos on me saying I don't like calling women birthing people? And that's worthy of full cancellation. You are irredeemable. You are a TERF. You are a transphobe. You are garbage, right? How does that happen?
The answer is instead of being greedy douches who are like, oh, we're gonna get another left winger. We're gonna grab their audience. Yeah, I said it, Emma and Sam. Cancel them, cancel them. So guys, forget Majority Report. Who cares? They're a bunch of nobodies. So oh, cry a tear about it. I know.
Before we show you guys the TYT clip, I was dumbfounded at first by Anna's commentary on the subject matter until partway through the conversation. Obviously, you guys are going to hear that, but I feel like everyone should be familiar with this take before we get into the real drama, the real discourse that's been set off as a result of this whole episode. Because Emma Vigeland, it seems that Emma Vigeland is basically on the same side of this whole issue that Zac and I are. She put out this tweet a couple days ago, said how many people get tattoos that they thought looked cool but didn't understand the meaning of. How many vets took mercenary work for a period because the U.S. doesn't support them? How many young men have shitposted online? Do we want an authentic working class party or not? So she's basically, responding to a lot of the criticisms that have been leveled at Graham Platner, including from the left. And she's saying, like, you know what? If we really are serious about a working class party and a working coalition of people, then you have to accept what that means, warts and all, right? I happen to agree with the take. I think it's a bold take, but I do happen to agree with it. Obviously, we'll see again if more information comes out about Graham Platner, but based on what we know right now, as of October 23rd, I totally agree with this. I don't think his sins of the past are too grave to prevent him from joining our movement and from representing Maine in the Senate. But before we get into all of the discourse that exploded as a result of Emma's take here, what was your response to it, Zach?
Honestly, fucking proud of Emma. This is a bold take to have if you're in her position. She knows it's going to be unpopular with a lot of people who listen to her. And I was proud of her for having the courage to come out and be bold about this because it's fucking tough. And when you're about to step in shit with everyone, that it's not fun. And I think that she's making a great point here, twofold. One, that we have to understand that we as a left have to signal to people, we as a Democratic Party have to signal to people, you can change, right? We can all change. We all grow. We all mature. We have to completely shed this concept of you fucked up one time. You accidentally made a mistake. Now your name is Mud. Go fuck yourself. This guy was working class. He lived in America. How many times have you guys done shit that you're not proud of? And you could be like, I've never got a Nazi tattoo. No, you probably didn't. But this guy got drunk in Croatia and he got a fucking tattoo. Like, I don't believe that he has Nazi affiliation. I don't believe that he's a bad guy because he enlisted in the war. I do not. And I think he's probably grown a lot since he got that shit. I think he's probably, remorseful. Clearly, he put out an apology for it, right? So I think that Emma's waxing right here. I think she's on the money. And I think that to a lot of people in Maine, they're going to just turn this all into one jumble pile of, oh, yeah, they tried to say some things about him for Reddit and, oh, he has a tattoo. And I just think it's going to get all lost in one big controversy of, oh, he's kind of a normal guy. He fucked up a little bit. There were some bumps in the road. But what is also the alternative, right? Like what we're gonna tar and feather Platner and then create a lane for Janet Mills to get the nomination and then lose to Susan Collins in an election that is winnable for the Democrats? Because sure as you are born, that is what will fucking happen if Janet Mills gets the nomination.
And then Janet Mills will lose to Susan Collins.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She will 100% lose to Susan Collins because Susan Collins has beat 7 fucking Janet Mills already. Okay, because people are like, I guess I'll just take Susan Collins because it's the devil, right? I know what the Democrats are going to do, but Susan Collins is already in power. She'll keep the Democrats in check because they have the gubernatorial power right now. Whatever the fuck, it's not a winner. Graham Platner is a winner, and if you show the polling right after their first round of attacks for his Reddit polls, he was kicking ass. He was clobbering Janet Mills, and that's substantial because he's not a sitting politician in Maine. He's an insurgent guy. He was an oysterman. Janet Mills is the governor, and to be up double digits on her like he was in an absolute astounding fashion, people are so tired in Vermont of the Janet Mills, she will lose.
Oh, 100%. She'll definitely lose. I mean, even if she is a relatively popular governor, two-term governor, not denying that she has some credibility in the state, but she's so old. And she's just a weak challenger to Susan Collins, who I do think is vulnerable, which is why the Democrats need to put up someone who would actually fucking win, like Graham Platner. Again, I'm not saying there's no way Janet Mills wins, but I think it's way lower than Graham's chances. Either way, this was Emma's take. And, I noticed, Zach, that last night TYT put out a video, pretty interesting video about the situation, the Graham Platner situation. And when I saw that Cenk and Ana disagreed, my first thought was that Ana was going to be defending Graham Platner and that Cenk was going to be like scolding Graham Platner. The only reason I thought that is because what has Ana been dealing with over the last couple of weeks? She's been responding to accusations of anti-Semitism herself, based on the Happy Merchant meme, which many people think she reenacted live on air while talking about Jewish billionaire Larry Ellison, right? This has gone viral. She's been mired in this scandal. She's had to respond to it, all this stuff, right? People, have accused her of anti-Semitism. So I thought that just out of like solidarity to this other person who was being accused of anti-Semitism, that she would come out here and defend Graham Platner with her chest and be like, this is freaking ridiculous, a total stupid culture war. That's obviously what I was expecting. But that's actually not the case. Ana, as you guys are about to see, actually takes issue with Graham Platner here, but not just Graham Platner, more so the left's response to the situation. And you guys are going to see what this is all really about. But before they even get into the majority report shit and start, unearthing old drama, there's about 10 minutes of just pretty interesting debate between Cenk and Ana on the subject itself. Again, before the cat actually comes out of the bag and we all realize what's really going on here. But I thought this was all pretty interesting.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and take it in? I completely agree. I actually, went in with a similar mindset to you, actually. I was like, oh, Graham Platner, whatever. They hate cancel culture on the Young Turks. I probably won't click on this video. Who cares? They'll probably be like, we'll wait till more comes out. Nobody wants a Nazi tattoo. But who are we, of all people, hosts of the Young Turks, to to blast a guy for this, right? I mean, that would be the sensible thing. Not only have they been on the whole, like, we hate wokeness, we don't believe in cancel culture, we want to reach across the aisle. That's been their entire brand. But also the name of their network is the Young Turks. Oh, and by the way, also, when Cenk had his pitiful run for Congress and an even more pitiful run for president, he also had a bunch of shit that got dredged up and exposed as being out of touch, immoral, and wrong. And guess what? The left forgave him, right? Maybe we shouldn't have, because he showed us colors later on. He just tried to take advantage of the momentum on the left to enrich himself. But because the left knows we can only succeed if we have forgiveness in our hearts, we had to accept him and believe that he had an authentic change of heart as well. Pretty crazy to see that Ana has turned on a dime here, but I thought Cenk gave some reasonable commentary at the beginning.
Yeah, I think you're right about that context being part of the reason why Cenk is more willing to defend Graham, because he's kind of been through a similar thing where they dredged up a bunch of old shit and tried to use it against him, in that case successfully. But yeah, let's take a look. This is, it starts, the real debate starts about 4 minutes in, so that's where we're gonna start. But yeah, this gets surprisingly juicy.
I have a huge problem with, I think progressives, whether they're in the media or even progressive voters, you're not gonna be saved by a single politician. And there's like this constant search for the one savior, the Messiah, who's gonna deliver us from this terrible economic system. It doesn't work that way. You need to build people power. You need to build coalitions, an effective outside pressure campaign to actually accomplish these policies. Because one person, even if Platner, even if you fully trust him and elect him and he's in the Senate, he's not gonna be able to unilaterally do anything. Okay?
I know, but it's better than having a corporate stooge. So it's like, I mean, I don't want to give up. I want to support the candidates that are much more likely to be on our side. So he's not a corrupt, slimy, robotic politician. So, okay, so what do? They dug up the Oppo research.
Yeah.
So the Oppo research is, okay, he was a bad guy at some point, wrote mean things, terrible things at some point in his life. Yeah, I've been through that. So I don't care. I support him completely. But okay, let's give you the Oppo research first.
Dude, thank you for having the audacity to just be correct for once, Cenk. Thank you for having a backbone and giving us a little bit of the Cenk that I imagine you gave every single day 10 years ago. This is him having a spine. This is him saying, yeah, I don't want a corporate stooge, and I don't care about the smudges around the edges, right? I don't care if he's problematic. Guys, at this point, I don't fucking care if you're even that good of a guy. I don't want a corporate Zionist henchman going in to represent the Democratic Party for Senate. I don't think that's that much better than Susan Collins. It might be this much better. All right, it would be better. But it would be like this much better when it could be like this much better, right? I'm not trying to create a false equivalency with the Republican Party. Even Susan Collins is a deranged, crazy person. But I just mean when you have a corporate Zionist stooge like Janet Mills, it's, oh God, you are taking, like it's like this much of a difference, right? Like, okay, you might care about democracy and treason, and that's important, but you're going to just vote for horrible corporatist shit all the time. Maybe Janet Mills would be a little bit better than that, but I don't think so. She's going to be a wash in AIPAC money. She's not going to represent the constituents of Maine. And more importantly, I think she would lose, right? So thank you, Cenk, for coming out here and just saying, you know what, dimes to dollars. We always talk about lesser evilism on the left. This guy's the lesser evil.
Yep. Also, it's such a weird Jimmy Dore style point from Ana about how like the left is always just waiting for this one politician to save them, when in reality, it's never going to happen. It's like, it's a total straw man. No one on the left thinks that Graham Platner is the messiah that's going to single-handedly end fucking capitalism. Obviously not. But he's a guy who says a lot of the stuff that we believe, including when it comes to foreign policy, including when it comes to Israel. So yeah, that's obviously naturally going to excite people that are sick of corrupt politicians. For her to pretend to not understand that and to act like, oh, you know, the left, here they go again, seeking out their messiah, looking for this one dude who's going to save the day. It's just a total misreading of the situation. And also, no one is fucking saying that. I literally have not heard a single person say that.
So that's why they're doing it. So they look for stuff that's wrong in your life. Now, you're a guy who served 4 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. Guess what? You're going to have things that are wrong in your life. Do I believe that he had PTSD? Yes. Do I believe that he's a different person today than he was when he wrote those posts? Yes, because I got eyes and ears. Because he doesn't sound anything like that, right? And I have personal experience. For me, they did this, Anna, you know, they did the same exact thing. Dug, couldn't find anything real, never hurt anyone, never did anything wrong, nothing against consent, nothing, right?
But you never got a Nazi tattoo. And
okay,
you named your show The Young Turks
for like 20 years.
Okay, hold on, we're gonna get to that.
And yeah, not only what Zach said about them naming the show The Young Turks, but Cenk did literally, publish an op-ed where he denied the Armenian genocide. So, I mean, that's just genocidal apology of a different sort, I guess. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I do think that Cenk is correct to be like, yeah, I've also been through this, and it is accurate to make that comparison, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. And if anybody doesn't know, if you're like, come on, I've heard that, just Google the Young Turks Ottoman Empire, early 1900s. Read all about it. They were literally leading a genocide against who, Gavin? The Armenian people.
Yep. 100%. Pretty awkward.
Then they found something that I wrote in the 1990s, right? Was I a different person? Yes, I was a Republican, I was a conservative, I was a shock jock, I was trying to get attention, etc. right? So no, that's it, you're stained forever. All right, let's look at Janet Mills' life, okay? And all the corporate goons that she's represented her whole life. How about we look at Chuck Schumer's life, okay? Chuck Schumer is great servant of Israel. Okay, I'm not interested in goddamn Chuck Schumer and his stupid donor class. I would much rather have an authentic guy who made a bunch of dumb mistakes earlier in his life than a bunch of people I know to be corrupt. I know sell us out every single day, and I know they have no intention of passing any of the Democratic policies. Chuck Schumer has proven his whole life that he's deeply, at a bare minimum, that he's either deeply incompetent, a buffoon who couldn't pass the most popular bills in the country. Paid family leaves at 84%, buffoon. Did you pass it? No. When you had clear majorities in the House, the Senate, and you had the White House. The reality is he's not a buffoon. He's corrupt. He doesn't want to pass any of those bills. I will never vote for one of those Chuck Schumer goons, okay? So give me Graham Platner with all of his mistakes and all of his faults, and you go dig mainstream media, bunch of hacks. Schumer gives you the info, you're like, oh, I'll type it up, okay. He's a bad guy, outsider, for change, a populist, bad guy, okay? I got it, I've been through this 1,000 times. Come on, Anna, we've been through it 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, we have been through it 1,000,000 times.
He's pissed at her.
What? Cenk is waxing so hard. He's actually 100% on the money. It's like I'm staring at a portal through time. We just went back 1 decade. This is the Cenk that built the Young Turks. This is the Cenk that made people inspired to listen to his message. He's shooting from the hip. He's being real, and he's making a good point, guys. Wow. Honestly, Cenk saying a defense of Graham Platner better than I even could was not in my bingo card.
Yeah, dude, it's old school Cenk. And again, it seems like he's like some of this energy is coming as a direct reaction from the bullshit Anna's saying. Like it seems like she's annoying him so much that this energy is coming out as a result. Like he really can't believe that she's going with this stupid bullshit and that she's like kind of contributing to the smearing of Graham Platner. He's like, are you kidding me? Just yesterday I had to defend your ass from accusations of anti-Semitism. What are you doing? You had to sit here and defend my ass from old stuff that was fucking dredged up 5 years ago. What are you doing? Like, what changed? So I genuinely think that Cenk is a little bit, pissed off here. And Anna, you guys are going to see that again in that other clip that I teased. Stick around for that later. But yeah, as you see, he ain't having it.
This 1,000 times. Come on, Anna, we've been through it 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, we have been through it 1,000,000 times, Cenk. Always. We put our whole support. We overlook all of the red flags. Put all our support behind the progressive. He's the progressive. Okay, red flag, ignore it. Red flag, ignore it. Ignore it. He's gonna save us. Oh, are we now discussing?
I don't need him to save us. I need him to win this race rather than Susan Collins or Janet Mills, who swear that they will represent every other corporation and foreign government, but never the citizens.
That's exactly what John Fetterman ended up doing.
I know, Fetterman's a douche. Fetterman is a toxic cancer in this country, not just because he immediately switched over and now he lapsed the feet of Donald Trump. He's sitting there licking his feet and Netanyahu's. He's disgusting. But the bigger problem with Fetterman is he's doing what Anna's right. Anna's right. The problem is that toxic a-holes like Fetterman cause such cynicism that when people come by now, everybody goes, no, I don't want to vote for anybody. Because remember Fetterman, right? Fetterman, you're the worst person, man.
No, hold on.
Jesus Christ. The way you betrayed people and sold them out for Israel, congratulations. Now you got everybody questioning every candidate. Go ahead, Anna.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay,
She can't even defend herself to Cenk. Like, what the heck? You've worked with Cenk for almost 20 years. You can't even have a righteous back and forth. How many times, you guys listen to the Vanguard, how many times when Gavin and I both get passionate, do we cut each other off? Do we nip in there? Do we oh no, it's my turn to talk. And then like 20 minutes later, you're like, all right, bro, that was good debate, good content, bro. Yeah, hell yeah, good shit. But you move on because it's your job to have debates like this. She looks genuinely offended that he had a disagreeing opinion. And bro, it's your job to talk about your opinions. Like, what the hell is the matter with you? He made a passionate case. That was awesome. Even if I completely disagreed with Gavin, if he was cooking like that, I'd be like, this is great as a producer.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason she's frustrated is because she knows Cenk is right, and she knows she knows that the real reason she has this take is for a reason that you guys are about to find out. That has everything to do with her beef with Emma Vigeland and nothing to do with her actual principles. It's completely ridiculous. She knows that. She's about to let on to it. And then shit's really gonna go sideways.
Okay, go ahead, Anna.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, there were red flags with Fetterman too, but everyone was so certain that what he was saying, the surface level stuff he was saying was true. I'm not saying don't vote for someone. I'm saying don't ignore the red flags, and more importantly, how does the left not see this? Maybe they don't see it because they didn't go through what I went through. But how do you ruin someone's life? How does Majority Report do 5 videos on me saying I don't like calling women birthing people? And that's worthy of full cancellation. You are irredeemable. You are a TERF. You are a transphobe. You are garbage, right? How does that happen? But suddenly we find ourselves in a situation where the very same people are defending a guy who got a freaking Nazi tattoo, and he claimed he didn't know it was a Nazi symbol when he got it. Okay. Maybe I will give him that. I find it dubious.
You work for the Young Turks.
Yeah. And also, it's just so crazy. You're a fucking political pundit. You're talking about the Majority Report. You're a colleague of theirs. I'm pretty sure that if Graham Platner, if the scandal was instead of him having a Nazi tattoo, there was an unearthed tweet where he too was against the term birthing person. Are we really supposed to believe that Sam and Emma would stop supporting him over that? Because I'm pretty sure they would still be supporting him. I'm pretty sure they would still be defending him. I don't think that if Graham Platner had a tweet where he was against birthing person, that the Majority Report would have thrown a hissy fit, which, by the way, they didn't do with Anna either. They made a few jokes and they criticized it because it was fucking cringe, which it was. But they didn't cancel you. They didn't fucking cancel you at all. And they wouldn't cancel John Fetterman if he had the same exact tape. They would still support him. They would 100% still support him. If you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
How, Chad also brought this up. How is Anna's life ruined at all? What, you're mad that the internet criticized you? Welcome to the club, baby. That's what we do for a living. We take criticism. Why? Because we share our opinions for work, and that's a privilege, right? So guess what? You get to talk out to the world. Sometimes the world talks back to you. Sometimes people say, I do not fucking agree with what you had to say, but you still live in a house with your husband. You get to walk your dog. You unplug. You forget about it because it's not your fucking problem anymore. The way that you've warped your brain because of one bad experience for you shows that you're, not very strong-minded. It shows that you're kind of weak-willed. It shows that you're willing to go where the wind blows you, because instead of saying, I know what it's like to be tarred and feathered, instead of saying, I know what it's like when you are made out to be somebody that you do not feel like you are, when you feel like you've changed over time. You know what Anna loves to do? She loves to go to Tucker Carlson and grovel about how she was too woke and how she canceled people, right? And she begs for the right's forgiveness, right? So she wants the ability to change. She wants the ability to grow and be forgiven and be lauded for having the personal character to go on a podcast like Tucker Carlson and admit that you were too woke back in the day and that you scolded people, right? Because that takes character. You want the ability to do that, but yet you can't find it in your heart to be like, this is a really bad look for the guy, but maybe we're not seeing the whole picture. Maybe, hey, he really did not know what the fuck this was. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I imagine Anna didn't know what the fuck it was either when she saw it. Looks like a bad tattoo. Looks like, oh, damn, yeah, you should have got that covered up a long time ago because it looks like shit. Right? Like, as a guy with a lot of tattoos, if I see you with that tattoo, I'm making fun of you because it looks like dog shit, not because I know what it is. You know what I mean? So again, it's very reflective of who Anna is as an individual. The fact that she can talk about how she went through something kind of similar in her mind, but yet not have any empathy, not have any grace with this guy, but just vitriol.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. And also, it's just such a tell that all of her opinions come from one place, and that's from a place of narcissism. She can't analyze any situation without making it about herself, right? Like this whole spiel she's been on for 15 minutes actually has nothing to do with Graham Platner. We just found that out. It has nothing to do with Graham Platner. It has everything to do with the left and her critique of the left for the way the left reacted when she said a bunch of stupid, cringe bullshit. And of course, Emma Vigeland is like, just a manifestation of that, right? Because she's jealous of the Majority Report or something. I don't fucking know. Or Emma's ability to say what Emma can say fearlessly and not pander to fucking idiots online. But yeah, it's all about that. It's not about her principles. It's not about her actual analysis of the situation as a political commentary. No, it's just 100% petty, stupid bullshit motivating this. And again, going back to the fact that she hates the left, which seems to be her main driving force ideologically. She's on the line. She's not on the right. She's not on the left. But hatred of the left seems to be what guides her every position and her every move, so much so that she can't even just have an objective conversation about Graham Platner without bringing in the way the left treated her on Twitter, and thanks to shows like ours, which were amplified by people like Emma Vigeland. That's what this is all about, 100%. It's the most petty bullshit imaginable. And again, I'm pretty sure when Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder were giving their analysis of the situation, I'm pretty sure Cenk and Ana didn't even enter their fucking mind. Genuinely, I don't think that Cenk and Ana entered their mind once. But Ana can't even talk about the situation without her entire take being based around some old stupid bullshit between her and Emma. Let's listen to this once again and then hear Cenk jump in with some words of his own, which are pretty hilarious.
How does the left not see this? Maybe they don't see it because they didn't go through what I went through. But how do you ruin someone's life? How does Majority Report do 5 videos on me saying I don't like calling women birthing people? And that's worthy of full cancellation. You are irredeemable. You are a TERF. You are a transphobe. You are garbage, right? How does that happen? But suddenly we find ourselves in a situation where the very same people are defending a guy who got a freaking Nazi tattoo, and he claimed he didn't know it was a Nazi symbol when he got it. Okay. Maybe I will give him that. I find it dubious, but okay, even if I took that for face value, he was drunk, he was in the Marines, he didn't know it was a Nazi symbol, he got it. Then he keeps it on his body and doesn't cover it up. for like 20 years?
I think that proves the opposite. But to your point, look.
And that's not cancelable, right?
No, but you're getting angry at the wrong side of it, Anna.
I'm getting angry at the exact same people. Right?
I know, but at the wrong side of it. The correct answer isn't they should also cancel Graham Platner. The correct answer is instead of being greedy douches who are like, oh, we're gonna get another left winger. We're gonna grab their audience. Yeah, I said it, Emma and Sam. Okay, oh, let's cancel them. They said something slightly wrong, right? So, okay, yeah. So you should hate them for that, not go and cancel Graham Platner to make it equal.
Listen.
Gavin, do you think that Cenk did that because Sam's Jewish?
Yeah, another happy merchant. What the fuck?
What's in the water at the Young Turks network?
Wow.
Nobody Googled the Young Turks in the Ottoman Empire.
That is hilarious. But yeah, I mean, totally crazy. Was there some like contract that we're not aware of, Zach, that Sam and Emma signed saying that they weren't allowed to ever be critical of the Young Turks? Like, is Cenk and Ana are acting like there was some agreement signed, like some fucking treaty that was brokered that the Majority Report violated. But like, I'm sorry, other people online have the right to discuss and criticize the things you're saying. It's just the way they act. So, and not only that, but as we covered extensively, Sam and Emma have both multiple times offered to set up a debate where they would just hash out the beef, where they would have a discussion and get to the bottom of the disagreement. This has been offered multiple times. For Cenk and Ana to act like Sam and Emma canceled them and then tried to steal their audience. Right? That was what we did. We tried to steal your fucking audience. I don't
successfully for the most part.
I don't remember Sam and Emma ever saying, go unsubscribe from TYT and come subscribe over here. Again, that's what we did. We're not, I happily will admit that because we don't mind just getting straight in the gutter like that. But Sam and Emma criticize you. They never tried to poach your fucking audience. They never tried to do any of that bullshit. And again, they did the opposite. They tried to set up a freaking debate, which would have brought a ton of eyeballs to the Young Turks. Are you kidding me? That would have been one of the highest viewed TYT live streams in literally years. Sam and Emma versus Cenk and Ana on the Young Turks. That would have been fucking nuts. It would have gone viral. But they refused that opportunity to actually sit down and have the kind of disagreement and discourse that they fetishize when it's a right-wing piece of shit like Charlie Kirk or Dr. Phil or fucking Megyn Kelly, who just had Ana on her show.
100%. And to remind everybody, it's not just that, okay, you could, they criticized me, right? The Majority Report offered a criticism of Cenk and Ana's legitimate position. And we'll go back to the video because there's more. But let's not forget that Cenk and Ana spread legitimate smears, proven lies about the Majority Report. Ana Kasparian went on the Young Turks network, which was at that time recording from the Polymarket studios, right? They were under a sponsorship deal with Polymarket, this exact web platform, gambling platform, right? And they went out and they said the Majority Report did Kamala ad buys, which is not true at all, right? And you can see that when Ana was pushing this on air, 37% of the people believed this. This is February of 2025, right? But guess what? It completely went nowhere. There's no evidence that was produced. And so Polymarket took a huge L on this because they basically got a bunch of right-wing weirdos to come on here and bet that had happened. $147,000 were traded on this fucking one question that was complete garbage from the Young Turks. So if anybody has been victim of smears, if anybody who has been a victim of misinformation, it was the Majority Report at the hand of the Young Turks when Cenk went out there and called them low-rent grifters. No, you guys are the grifters, and you're clearly doing it for lower rent because Polymarket doesn't even want anything to do with you anymore. So now you have to read Vivek Ramaswamy's Medicare Advisory chapter ads. Fucking bullshit.
And mattress ads. Yeah. No, it's 100% defamation is what it was. Not that Sam and Emma gave a fuck, but it was defamation. They straight up lied. They said that Sam and Emma were taking DNC money to do Kamala Harris ad reads, something that didn't happen a single fucking time. And then also when Emma Vigeland criticized them for taking Polymarket cash, Cenk turned around and said that because while Emma worked at the Young Turks back in the day when she used to post their videos on Facebook, that was the same level, that was tantamount to the same level of corruption because Facebook also was invested in by Peter Thiel or something. which makes no fucking sense. And again, is a total smear. Cenk knew it was a smear at the time, and the only reason he said it is because he had nothing else to say other than a lie to try to make the people criticizing him look bad. They didn't have to rely on lies. They were able to just play your own stupid fucking words and mock them. You had to make shit up. So it's completely ridiculous. And again, just this notion that Sam and Emma did something wrong by criticizing Cenk and Ana. No, they didn't. They're not like, what? It's not like these shows even collaborated that much over the past 4 years or so. It's not like they're that fucking close. It's not like this grave betrayal. They just happen to be two progressive leaning coded shows.
Less so now. The Young Turks are not even embracing the progressive label,
which is why the Majority Report was going after them, because they were like taking note of and reacting to the change in tone from Cenk and Ana, which they have every right to do. And again, there's no fucking contract saying that they weren't allowed to talk shit on each other. TYT could have put out a video where they talked some shit on the Majority Report. I'm sure that would have been totally acceptable. You know, they can still do it to this day. No one's going to freak out and act like that Sam Seder is being canceled or crucified or something.
Yeah.
All right, we got a little bit more of this though. Great screenshots all around.
Them for that,
hold
go and cancel Graham Platner to make it equal.
Listen, I don't care about my relationship or lack thereof with Emma and Sam. That doesn't matter to me at all. What matters to me though is how you actually accomplish the policies you want. And if in their minds, it's okay, we're gonna overlook all of this stuff that we would like totally destroy your life over or my life over. Well, it's okay because we wanna build power, progressive power in Congress. I would maybe believe that, except I have come to learn, and hopefully everyone else who's been paying attention has come to learn, that if you're gonna rely simply on electoralism to accomplish any of this stuff, you will be disappointed time and time again. AOC, disappointment. How is she being outflanked by Marjorie Taylor Greene on the topic of healthcare right now? It's insane. So you need to build coalitions outside of Congress.
And also, it's like, what is this Jimmy Dore bullshit? This is literally like just Jimmy Dore talking points. No one is saying that Graham Platner is going to single-handedly save the day and end capitalism and create a utopia. Literally all anyone is saying is, hey, pretty cool that this guy is espousing some of the right talking points and he's not corrupt. That's all anyone is saying. That, oh, that's refreshing. This guy's not just regurgitating AIPAC talking points, and he's not taking a bunch of corporate money. And hey, he's endorsed by Bernie Sanders. Remember Bernie? That's cool. Like, that's all that's happening. What is this Jimmy Dore bullshit where it's like, these foolish left-wingers, they think electoralism is going to save the day. Ha ha ha. Like, what is this crap?
It's also crazy to act like it was hand-waving away criticisms of him, right? We have followed we don't cover a ton of Senate candidates, right? We're still over a year out. We have covered every single time there has been a criticism of Graham Platner, and we have weighed its legitimacy. We talked about the Constellus work that he did. We talked about how, hey, I think that's a bad move. And if he doesn't come out here and say that he also thinks that's a bad move now, I would disagree with that, right? I think that, while there is something to having veterans that carry an anti-war message, I don't support mercenary work at all, right? We vocalized that. We both agreed with that. We didn't say it was disqualifying for the guy because he was the best in the race. He's still the best in the race. Yep. You don't get to come out here and be like, hey guys, you have to vote for the lesser of two evils. And then when there's actually a progressive who might involve some lesser evilism, right? You got to turn your nose up at it and be like, I want Janet Mills, the corporate stooge, instead. That's insane. That's just nuts.
Yep. 100%. And again, say there was a different race going on where there was an uncorrupt progressive candidate, but the red flags with that candidate was that they hated the term birthing person. I would still support that person over the corrupt fucking, genocide supporting AIPAC recipient. I would. So there you go, Anna. See, people aren't like going crazy to cancel each other. It's just we're willing to have criticisms where they exist and expound on them because that's our fucking job. But yeah, if there was some progressive candidate out there who had a different take on birthing person than me, but was still obviously the best person in the race, yeah, I would support them. I would do it unabashed.
What about Dan Osborne, Gavin?
Right.
I was just having breakfast with Gavin and my girlfriend and two of our really, really progressive friends. One of them is my buddy Ty and Gavin's buddy Ty, who's been published in like Current Affairs, very, very left-wing guy, right? We were talking to him about Dan Osborne. He was like, yeah, Dan Osborne has some like problematic views that I disagree with. Like he'll go on and talk about how border security is like a real thing we need to focus on. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? We're in Nebraska, right? But every progressive I know in Nebraska, which is like 4, but still it's a decent sample size, they're all going to vote for Dan Osborne. Are you kidding me? Even though they might have some disagreements with how he's going to talk about the police, even though they might have some disagreements with him when he's going to be talking about the Second Amendment, right? These are just 2 random examples, right? But people are like, oh, far and away, he will be the better option of the 2. So we're going to support this guy. So I don't want to hear shit about how people on the left never, ever do, a little bit of wiggle work, right? And say, oh, I'll get behind this guy, even though he doesn't check off every single one of my boxes. If you give us 70%, yeah, I'm going to show up for you, even if those 30% of things are hard for me to swallow, because I feel like I get like 8% from Janet Mills and I can get at least 70 from Graham Platner.
Yep, straight up, 100%.
Congress, organize people to actually apply the pressure to these lawmakers to help get these policies accomplished. And that's impossible to do. It's literally impossible to do. Because if you're on the left, and God forbid, you think the phrase birthing people is degrading to women? You're gone. You're gone. We're purging.
I know, but
like
Anna, you're angry at the wrong end of it.
No,
So, okay,
I'm
hold
angry
on.
at the right thing. I'm angry at the ineffectiveness of the left in America.
Okay, but Anna, what am I doing? So at 8 o'clock Eastern, we know, we just started this a couple of weeks ago. We're crowdsourcing the revolution. What does that mean? To end the corruption. Is it foolhardy and naive? Sure, but I'm doing the exact thing you're talking about, which is trying to bring no, but hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Coalition of left, right, middle, whatever, to let's try to get lower drug prices. Let's try to stop the funding of Israel, and there's ceaseless genocide, etc. And it is a real coalition. And yes, Marjorie Taylor Greene joined Ro Khanna's bill. By the way, what was Ro Khanna? A Justice Democrat, a progressive in Congress. So if we had given up, there would be no Ro Khanna. So the answer isn't to get frustrated.
That's also not true, because Ro Khanna had already been elected by the time he accepted the Justice Democrats label. Justice Democrats didn't get Ro Khanna elected.
Like a 5-term Congress.
Yeah, but I still get Jake's point, so I'm not trying to nitpick, and I agree with what he's saying overall. But that is funny to take credit for Representative Ro Khanna's victory. If it weren't for us, there would be no Ro Khanna.
He didn't have millions and millions and millions of dollars to fall back on.
Frustrated at. I mean, Ro Khanna is doing, I think, almost everything right. I agree with you that AOC is still
an embarrassment.
And I wouldn't go that far, but she's half and half, right? Okay, and I wish that she fought with all her heart and might the things that matter, but they always go to culture wars. But guys, to me, the most important part, and I'm being principled here, and Anna, to your point about when you try to build a movement that gets people elected, and what happens? Well, it happened to me, and it happened to me from the left too, if you remember.
Yeah, I do remember.
So I formed Justice Democrat with Shoykat Chakrabarti, who's now running against Nancy Pelosi. You should support him, okay? And then they smeared me just like this, and so the alt-right started it. Mainstream media piled on, but who?
Here's what he's not going to talk about. Kyle resigned alongside him because he was protesting the pearl clutching and calling it bullshit. He completely removes Kyle's legacy from that. That was one of the most base things. Even though I have no love in my heart for Cenk, really, I do admire Kyle for being like, that was my boy. Cenk did a lot for me coming up. I believe he's a good person. Fuck you for throwing him under the bus because some old shit surfaced. That's crazy that he would just pretend like nobody on the left stands up. One of the biggest voices on the progressive left. Kyle has like 2 million subscribers now, growing every single day. And they're legitimate subscribers, not like the Young Turks fossil, antiquated subscribers that are completely dead and worthless at this point, right? He is a guy that's outspoken. He never falls for the cancel culture bullshit. He keeps his eye on the ball, and he defended you, Cenk. So what the hell? You're going to allow Anna to keep painting with a broad brush and be like, half of AOC's things have been a letdown? She's one of the best representatives in Congress. Has she done things that I disagree with? Sure. Half? No way. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, she's done way more stuff that I approve of than fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene, who Anna just can't wait to give credit to. And again, I appreciate the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene is clearly, for whatever reason, pissed off at Trump and taking it out on him by being one of the only Republican congresswomen who's actually willing to speak out against him. I'll give her credit for that, but she's still a fucking Republican. She's still a fucking Republican that just happens to be brave enough to speak out against the dear leader. She's still a Republican. AOC, for the most part, has been pretty solid, despite like the 10 or 15% of issues where she's been a failure and a coward and has, submitted to the establishment, which we've criticized her for. But come on, that's totally ridiculous. But yeah, almost done here. One more mention of the majority report.
They can have all of that and they won't cancel them. Oh, but one of my competitors, ooh, they said something 1% off. Cancel them. So guys, forget majority report. Who cares? They're a bunch of nobodies. Like, oh, cry a tear about it. Right? Oh, we're gonna target you guys. We're gonna try to smear you. I've seen all of it, guys. I've been through all of it from the left, the right, the middle. That's not the point. The point is, do not let them keep canceling us. I don't mean us as in the Young Turks. I mean all of us, the populists, the outsiders, the change agents, the progressives. And when someone on the left is canceling someone else on the left, be super wary because they're probably doing it for deeply selfish reasons.
And again, I genuinely, like, they're so emotional. They've clearly internalized all of this criticism, like, way more than they like to let on, but it comes out in moments like this. And it's just crazy because, like, again, we've been pretty vicious. Some people have been pretty vicious, but Sam and Emma have mildly criticized Cenk Ana. I mean, sure, they poked fun, but it's been pretty chill. It's been professional. And then again, ultimately, they challenged them to a debate. How is that canceling you? How is saying, hey, come debate me? How is that a canceling and smearing you? That's literally like, hey, come, let's get together and hash this out. Let's have a spirited agreement, the likes of which, again, Cenk claims to love when it's some right-wing piece of shit like fucking Dr. Phil or whatever, right? So I just don't get how, like, this is even remotely an accurate thing for them to claim.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there. The Vanguard